Hello, Lightworker. Hello, Power Changer. I wanted to speak to you with SNAIL. SNAIL showed themselves to me on the 9th of the 9th of the 9th. I've actually 9/9/2025 portal. I was actually painting with my granddaughter and there was leftover paint, and I always like to use up that leftover paint, and we usually create something stripy, spotty, whatever, as a piece of paper that we can draw into later or cut up, or I just feel better knowing I haven't poured that paint down the sink. So this was the leftover colors that she had from making her little clay rabbits that she'd been painting, and orange was the carrots. But I felt to start doing spirals, and I thought, oh, this is interesting. I'm going to do a spirally piece of paper. She was like, oh, you do it, Grandma. I'm not interested. So I was just playing with it. But then she became quite fascinated in what I was doing. What are you doing? Oh, I'm doing spirals. Oh, so I'd done that orange spiral and then I put the green into it. And it then began to build into something. I was actually painting it this way up. So I didn't really know. I started to put all the brown and the purple and the gold. You may not see the gold, but I'll show you some of the gold. You can see it's sort of shining, gold dots in here. Brown face, but brown and gold in this sort of area. Oh, gonna do it there. This area, right. So this is my little turbo snail who wanted to show herself, their self, as we crossed over that threshold of the 999 portal. Now, the colors that are representative in there are important. The fact that I kind of felt the need to do this spiral, we're spiraling in our ascension, but the turbo bit. So at the beginning, there was no snail head. It was upside down. And I then felt the urge. The snail emerged and I did the snail upside down. My granddaughter, I was like, so what is it? Like this, as it became something. And I painted it like that. And she was upside down. It was upside down to her. And she went, it's a snail. I was like, yeah. So it emerged within me as we were going. What started out as let's use the paint became something. And that's where life is now. Life is sort of starting out as things, but becoming something. And you're starting to see a lot of messaging in it, a lot of significance, a lot of indicators and pointers on your compass to what it is inwardly you are connecting with. Now, if you've been with any of my work in Patreon, you would know that I have for quite some years now, probably since 2015, 16, started to connect in with what I called those high vibrational intelligences. And they showed themselves to me not just as sounds I could not hear, but sounds I could understand. I could hear the beat and give you the beat. I could say it's tinkly or it's got a deep echoey sound or whatever it would be. But eventually it came through as a color. And then over time, and I'm talking several years of meditating and getting used to letting these energies in, I started to understand that the green spectrum was entire green spectrum has an over or underarching baseline called peace. It brings peace. It aligns you to peace. These packages. Now, remembering that all colors, all things are infinite. So this spectrum has so many different hues and frequencies and tones to it that are applicable for the person. So I might be tuning into this particular brightish green, and you may be tuning into what also to our eye looks like a bright green, but it has your signature experience in it. It has what you need because it comes from source. So we've been feeling those come through the solar system. We've been feeling those come through the sun. We've been feeling them from the center of the universe, where we have been connecting into more of what is coming to us. And these have been intensifying, but we've been stepped with them along the path. So the green is the sense of peace our spiral within ourselves, our experiences, our past, our future, our parallel, all that we are in that synchronistic, simultaneous experience of life, and our connections in that. So it becomes particular to me, particular to you. Each individual has their unique filter or requirement or source to this. And so the orange has always represented for me, and we play with this, and we've been receiving these particular rainbows, as we call them, but they go deeper, they go more extensive than what we know. They are what is from the universal guidance. And orange is grace. So stepping into that field, that spiral, that ascension part of us, that is peace and grace. Our underneath on everything. Everything you're ever doing is peace and grace. So that it doesn't matter when you're hitting a challenge, a bump in the road, when your dirt's being kicked up, right? And this is, by the way, brown represents wisdom, all the wisdoms, and we've got a lot of particular wisdoms to everything. And so this kicking up the dust, kicking up the wisdom, which isn't in my discernment and all of that, this information is about coming into peace and grace. Now, that doesn't mean we don't have challenges. It doesn't mean we don't have stressors. It doesn't mean we don't have things that are going to disrupt us. However, we are finding our peace and grace and ease through that. So it was interesting because I had this fun moment with my granddaughter. It was, the surface level of an experience. I sat this up, just up on this little easel elsewhere in my room, and sort of over the several days, I mean, we're the 20th now of September, I kept thinking, what are you trying to say to me? What's important here? And I was like, oh yeah, it's peace and grace. Oh, it's wisdom, all the brown. You can see we've got wisdom being turned up. Wisdom in our mind, being able to put our wonder antennas on, because purple gray, as I call it, it's like a silvery purple gray. So there's a whole spectrum of that. From the deep, deep purples to the reddish purples, because there's crossovers, remember? Colors aren't just significantly one thing. And this purple is wonder, that underarching experience of wonder. You're experiencing it, you're flowing with it. I'm wearing it right now. I'm in the wonder of this experience with SNAIL. SNAIL is coming in to speak to us. And that's the funny thing I'm starting to understand, is how many spirits are coming in, how many consciousnesses are starting to become very interactive with us. Yes, there's a snail, right? But I'm getting to a point where I connected into SNAIL without having to physically see a snail, run into a snail in any form of my synchronistic world, be it a picture or whatever. It came through me as a channel. SNAIL wanted to convey to me that although we are in a slow nature right now, things feel like you're not getting far fast. Some people feel in the void. Some people feel like they're hitting these bumps, and it's like for a snail, it's a big bump over the road, but it's just a little sand pile. It's not anything big. It's just a pebble. And yet it can feel like it in the explosion of what is the emotional stage. But we know we're stripping out everything that isn't us. SNAIL says, I carry all my resources. I have everything available. My home is with me. And that's where we're coming back to, your home within, the home connection to your source, to the creator, to the God force within you. You are opening up to the innate intelligence of the universe and flowing with it. You are flowing with peace. You are flowing with grace. You are flowing with wisdom. And so there's a turbocharge on wisdom and wonder right now. It's starting to come up and show itself. And so even though you feel like you're very slow, perhaps you've been redirected, and it's a lot of light workers have, a lot of power changers have. We are now moving in redirection. And that redirection, there's something you're connecting to. There's something you're rising up to through this portal of time at the moment. You're beginning to release the identities, release the old past you. Even within the spiral, there are experiences that are complete. You don't need to touch base with those. Give them back to source. You don't need that parallel life, that past aspect, that present aspect. Parts of you aren't needed. But what is also happening is the wisdom is dropping in. Can you see the brown head, the purple antennas, the wonder, allowing the awe to come in, right? All of that is starting to drop in to our spiral of grace and peace. And we're getting more and more at home with what is dropping in as us, the truth of us. And so you have this charge, this purple, brown, and gold, the golden template that is coming on board for us as the fifth dimensional base being. That template of what is the new earth is part of the turbocharge. So you are feeling like things are slow. You're feeling like you're not really sure of the direction. You're feeling like you know the direction, but it's taking a long time to get there. Oh, crap, there's a bump, right? But it's still being processed with a baseline of peace and grace. You may not feel it in the moment of the bump, but you are moving with peace and grace. Those who have done the work on themselves to this day are really starting to feel that. Those who are beginning to do the work are getting there turbocharged. And now there's many of us moving to new roles, new opportunities, new bringing through of things that are new earth. We are bringing through new intelligence through us. So it might come through as something to do with the fact that I have a talent in music, or it may have something to do with, which I don't, I'm just throwing that out there, which may have something to do with my community and what I can offer there. Maybe a new job. It might be something I've been working on very spiritually, and that now starting to take more of an earthly based experience as a business, or as a angle of my life, how I approach life, what I expect of life. I'm housing more of me. SNAIL says a lot. You think SNAIL has nothing to say. And yet here we go on this path. And when you look at the little slime trail or the sparkly trail that a snail has left behind, it's not super direct. It's often quite wavy, quite bumpy, quite even, where are you going? But there's a redirection, or there's a, oh, it feels like I'm stepping to this part of my spiral, this part of my spiral, this part of my spiral. You are adopting various identities, but really they're just knowledges and wisdoms, and you are expanding that into the world. You have let go so much. You're not hanging on to the identity you had before. You're not identifying heavily as the physical story that is playing out or has played out for you, or the roles that have occurred, or the influences that have been put upon you. You are not necessarily connected or attached to any of that now. The flexibility and adaptability is there because you house your own wonder, your own wisdom, your own grace, your own peace, your sovereignty, that's the red spectrum, your bliss, the yellow spectrum, your integrity, the blue spectrum. And you have this golden template building in you now, and you are starting to build your house on that. You are building your base where your body is, your spark is, your focus of life is right now, here. And you have this expansive knowledge, this expansive self, this expansive unity of spirit and consciousness that is all of us, the one. You have connection to all of that, but slowly steady at the moment. Slowly steady. I know that thing of being patient can drive us insane. But within you, your heart is starting to explode with this information that it wants to follow. It's beaming its light towards this path. Well, it sort of looks like that here with this, oh, got to turn it upside down, with my salt lamp behind there. It is taking us forward. We are in the right direction. So understand that the turbocharge is behind everything you are doing, because you are currently in a new learning mode, right? You are moving into the adept. You are becoming that magician you truly are. But you have some learning to do. Meanwhile, you're also teaching and sharing and showing. You are power changing everything behind you, right? And you're moving into this, you're stirring up the dust of wisdom. People are starting to go, what is happening? They're feeling the chaos. They're seeing out there, but they're recognizing what's happening in here. Oh, my wisdom. What do I really want to align myself with? What do I really believe? What do I really feel? They're feeling into their higher self. Their higher self is starting to show them the wonder of the life rather than the chaos. And that wonder is what drives them forward. Their personal wisdom, their innate intelligence, their singular self connected to source with all the branches of consciousness available to come back to us. You are being guided. You are never alone. The entire house of life is on your back. You have it. You are connected to it. You are not lost. So I want to thank SNAIL for showing themselves. It's been a slow process over these many days now for me to come to an understanding. 11 days it's taken me to go, oh, I get what you're trying to say. Meanwhile, my life has been synchronistically showing me various things to understand where I'm at. And I get the sense that many are at it as well, because we are unifying as the beings taking us to New Earth, leading the way, not even leading the way, just openly answering the call, being there, right? Doesn't matter if things are a little slow right now. Know that there is a turbocharge behind everything you are doing. Every divine will, inspiration step you take, like your human ego, but that step, that part of you that goes, I know I've got to go this way. I don't know how to make it work or what it's going to be, but I know this is my direction now. I know I'm to put a lot of focus on this right now. Maybe other things later, but right now, this is the thing I've really got to keep going towards. And that is turbocharged. It doesn't feel like it right now. Many feel lost in the void, but everything you are stripping away is creating a turbo process in you. There are great quantum leaps for many of us to align to that powerhouse within us like we've never aligned to it before. Wonderful times ahead. Thank you, SNAIL. Thank you to my granddaughter for coming and saying, can we do arty crafty stuff, please, Grandma? Awesome. Loving to speak to you, loving to share with this SNAIL energy. Tap into your inner SNAIL. Let the spirit of SNAIL remind you that you are indeed changing the power of this world towards New Earth. Love you lots. Bye.